Good Saturday afternoon, everyone. I was trying to get my notes together for today's episode. I usually type everything out to give me talking and bullet points so I don't forget anything, because I can get off track sometime. But my laptop crashed on me, so I've got to have it worked on. So I had to sit down and put my thoughts down, and so didn't really know what I was going to say, and 3 pages later I had it all written down. So bear with me. I'm having to try to read my own writing. So and I write like a doctor because I'm a lefty. So if I had to title this episode today, it would be called Finding My Song in the Silence. Most people are afraid of something. If you're a child, it could be the monster you think that's under your bed or the boogeyman in your closet. My greatest fear was to be still and or silent. So as you can imagine, I was never very good at the quiet game when I was little. I always had to have music blaring, or a TV, or laughing, or cutting up. I always had to be in the middle of noise. My giving up music began innocently enough. I didn't choose to just give the music up, or I didn't just wake up one day and decided I hated it. My only concern at that time was that I was there for my dad and being the best caregiver I could to him. Nothing else mattered to me, so the music took a back seat. After he died, you have to accept your new normal. I felt lost and like I didn't have a purpose with him there, because there was life before he was sick, and then there was when he was sick. And even though, you're having to do things different, it becomes your new normal. Then when they're gone, you've got to find a new normal all over again and a new purpose. As the deaths kept coming, we were singing at the funerals. You need to understand something about grief, loss, and depression. It'll creep up on you before you even realize it. While commuting from work one day, I suddenly realized I had started listening to only either talk radio or nothing at all. Like a ton of bricks, it hit me that I hated music, and it was the love of my life. One, I wouldn't listen to music. I wouldn't sing, play, or write music. It was like the roles had reversed. The thing that I loved most and had brought me the most joy now was causing me actual physical pain. And I found myself craving my biggest fears in life. I craved still and silence. I decided one day that I would bite the bullet and try to listen to some music. I went through 5 CDs in my CD changer before I came across a song that spoke to me. Have you ever had things going on in your life, or hardships, or you've hit a rough patch, and you hear a song that really resonates with you? You get goosebumps. The little hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. You've heard laughter's the best medicine, but this song was like warm honey coating my soul. I was listening to a gospel group called Sisters, and the song was I'm Gonna Make It. I couldn't grieve, so every day it would take me 20 minutes to get to the gym from work. I felt like a pressure relief valve about to burst. I knew I couldn't barely just turn the valve on and let the pressure out. I knew if I opened it all the way, I would never be able to turn it back off. So I put that song on a continuous loop every day when I got off work. And I'm really hard on myself. So for those 20 minutes, I could cry, scream, or whatever I needed to do. But after that 20 minutes was up, then I returned to the stiff upper lip and had to buckle up buttercup. I can remember after months of doing this, I was driving home one day, and it was a beautiful day, but all I saw now was darkness. I decided to crank the sound up on the song, roll my windows down, open my sunroof, and for the first time in 8 years, it was like dark film had been removed from my eyes, and I could see the blue sky and the green grass, the things and the colors and God's landscape that you see behind me. And God made me realize that I was going to make it. And God began giving my heart back its song. You owe it to yourself to go to their website. It's sistersmusic.org, O-R-G, to buy their music. I have all their CDs in my vehicle, and also I have them loaded on my iPod, because while most of the guys are pumping iron to heavy metal or rap, I'm listening to Sisters and working out, because it's all about your mind, your body, and your soul. And it's kind of a meditation time for me, where I can kind of get myself centered, try to take care of myself physically and mentally and spiritually all at the same time. If you go to their website, you'll see at the very bottom there's an arrow, and out beside it says, I'm going to make it. If you'll hit that arrow, it'll give you a sample of that song and let you hear it, and I know you'll love it like I do. There's not a song on any of their CDs that I don't love. They tell stories. Each song does, and they'll lift you up. I promised that I would give you tips to help in life's hardships, and this is the one that God used to bring music back into my life. I'll tell you something else that helped me realize that in the world we live in today, I'm going to tell my age. I'm going to be 50 in a couple of days, but when I was a young kid, life was a lot slower back then, but every Sunday we had a huge family. We'd get together after church, the whole family, and everybody would bring a dish, and we'd always have family dinners on Sunday, playing with our cousins, and I have two of the best families on each side that God ever gave anyone. It wasn't that we had a lot or were rich or anything like that, but we had each other. We had love. It was what our foundation was built upon, the belief in God, and our parents made sure that we were in church every time the door was open. But I found in the world we live in today, we're so consumed with the hustle and bustle of life that sometimes God has to sit us down away from the distractions so we can hear His voice and listen to what He's trying to tell us. And it was when I did that He would reveal true purpose in life. But I want to give you things to help you fight depression, grief, loss. You don't have to be just a caregiver. You could be going through something and not know where to turn. These are things I found tried and true on my own. Been raised in church all my life, and it's not that you take it for granted, but then again, sometimes you take it as for granted as someone that's never heard. It's not until you have to put these things into practice that you really are made to realize why you were taught the way you were taught. And mine was music. I started out with music. I let the devil take my song away because of the depression. It snuck up on me. Didn't happen all at once. And that's the way the devil handles things. He moves in real slow. And so God got me quiet. I had to give up singing. I never imagined that I would have to be quiet for 8 years. So you can imagine when I started back, now I have a lot to say. And the one thing I did was I asked God for forgiveness, because I said, God, whatever roadblocks I've caused to be put in my way, I pray that you'll remove every one of those, because along with my grief therapist, she was telling me, she said, your foundation and your faith and your music is going to be the only thing that's going to save you and bring you out of this. So find you music you love. Like I said, if you want uplifting music, go to sistersmusic.org and look at all their different CDs and listen to their songs, read their bios, see their testimonies, and you never know what song is going to hit you and be the song that brings you out of whatever you're going through. So I hope everybody has a good weekend. So I've given you one tool, and I hope you'll use it to help yourself out, because like I said, I don't have a PhD in any of this, but I have lived through it, and I know you can live through it. Depression doesn't have to win. You don't have to let the devil win. You can beat this thing. Tomorrow's always a new day. Tomorrow's always a better day. Just ask God to help you, and He will help you realize that when you think there's no way out, that you're not helpless or hopeless. He will come down. He's an on-time God. He might not come when you think He should, but He'll come just in the nick of time. He gave me a song a few years ago called "When Your 11th Hour Seems Like the 12th of Never," but His ways are better than ours. He knows what He's doing, and He doesn't need our help. So hope everybody has a good weekend. Go to this website, listen to this song, and let their music speak to you. But that's one of the things that was my turning point in coming out of the depression. I slowly began coming out. So I hope it'll do the same thing for you today. And hope everybody has a good weekend. But don't forget, sistersmusic.org. And I know their music will bless you like it has me. Have a good day.